part 1 is present in front of you. If there is no objection, dear colleague, I suggest we adopt as a whole the part 1 of the report, which is from decision 37.2 to 37.6. Do you have any remark or comment on this part? I see none. So the first part of the report is therefore adopted. Part 2. We now pass to the part 2 of our report, which include decision from 7A to 7C. We will first look at decision 7A.1 to 7A.40. I would like to know if there are any comment or any question on this decision. We are now going through decision 7B.1 to 7B.103, including the general decision 7. Do you have any comment, please? Dear colleague, do you have any comment on the last decision of the second part of our report, which is a decision 7C? Therefore, I suggest that we adopt part 2 of the report, which include decision from 7A to 7C. So, I see none. Part 2 of the report is therefore adopted. Now we come to part 3. Dear colleague, we are going now to part 3 of the report, which concern decision with A to with E. 8A to 8E. Therefore, I will ask you to first look at decision 8A. Are there any comment on the decision? We are going now through decision. IUCN, you have the floor, please.
Thank you, Chair. Are you moving to 8B? No. When we get to the 8B, there's some comments. Apologies.
8A to 8E. Yes. 8A, please. Now we are going now through decision 8B.1 to 8B.56. South Africa, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. Our comment relates to draft decision 37.8B.18 on page 22. And it relates to paragraph 2 of that decision and the second line where we change the name, and it refers at the end of that paragraph to Malotti Drakensberg, but the word park must be at the end of that because it is the Ukahlamba Drakensberg Park and Seshlaba Tebe National Park, and then we change it to Malotti Drakensberg. But if you just refer to it as Malotti Drakensberg, it doesn't make sense. It's just the word park that needs to be added at the end of that. Thank you, Mr. Chairperson.
Okay, thank you. IUCN, you have the floor, please.
Thank you, Chair. Just we'd also picked up the point South Africa's just raised, but just two others. 37Com 8B.8, which is the Namib Sand Sea. In the statement on criterion 7, it says the nominated property, and the word nominated should be deleted. So it's the opening of criterion 7, because it's now the inscribed property. It's no longer nominated. So that's paragraph 3 in the statement of OUV in criterion 7. And the second, sorry, forgive me, in decision 37Com 8B.16, which is the inscription of El Pinacate, it's just editorial in paragraph 4. In the third line it says, requests the state party to apply the highest environmental standards to be applied. And I just think the words to be applied can be deleted. It's just the same drafting. It's on
Please mention the page number. The page number, please.
Yes, it's page 20 in the English. I don't have the French in front of me, but page 20, paragraph 4 of the decision on El Pinacate. And then lastly, just coming back to 37Com 8B.18, which is the page 22 of the English, that I think the format for a transboundary property is to have a slash sign between the two states parties, but maybe the Secretariat can confirm rather than a comma. It's a small point, but as it's the name of the property, maybe that should also be corrected, Chair. Those were just minor points, but just to correct those points. Thank you.
Then we have decision 8C.1 to 8C.3. Any comment, please? Mali, please, you have the floor.
Monsieur le Président, je suis encore au 8B, 8B26, s'il vous plaît. La version française à la page 43. Alors, il s'agit d'un palais en Iran qui a été inscrit sur la base des critères 2, 3 et 4. Mais ce que je ne comprends pas, c'est que le critère 4 est mis en gras. Je ne comprends pas.
Doctor, please.
Merci. Étant donné, merci au Mali d'avoir posé cette question, étant donné que le critère 4 a été rajouté, donc on a mis en gras parce qu'on n'avait pas une déclaration de valeur préparée pour ce critère. C'est en fait, c'était par l'ICOMOS que ça a été rédigé, mais comme on n'avait que hier et il faut se pencher là-dessus, c'est pourquoi on l'a laissé en gras. Et je vous dis, c'est la même chose avec Coimbra, Portugal, 8B38. Juste ça, il s'agit là du critère 6 qui était rajouté. Donc c'est la même chose, vous ne devez pas soulever cette question. On va le faire. Merci.
So we came to decision 8C.1 to 8C.3. Please, if any comment. So we came to the decision 8D and 8E, please. $8D and $8E. No comment. Therefore, shall I take it that the committee adopt the part 3 of the report, which include decision from 8A to 8E. So part 3 of the report is therefore adopted. Thank you. Now we come to part 4. Dear colleague, I suggest now to look at part 4 of our report as a whole, which include decision 9 to 13. Are there any comment on this part? Therefore, I suggest that the committee adopt part 4 of the report, which include decision from 9. Observer, please. Brazil.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My comment is on decision 37.10A on the final report of the second cycle for periodic reporting for Latin America and the Caribbean on paragraph 9. Our recollection from the discussions on this agenda item was that the paragraph 9. Can you hear me?
No, there's no observation.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, in a nutshell, paragraph 9 of decision 37.10a, our recollection from the debate was that it requested the Center, in collaboration with state parties in the region and the advisory bodies, to develop the action plan. The way it stands, it says it requests the state parties to develop the plan, and with not a clear framework on how the state parties will develop this plan. Thank you.
Rapporteur, please.
Merci Brésil pour cette question. On va le changer. C'était qu'on n'a pas pris ce amendement. On n'a pas fait l'inverse. Merci.
More comment, please. No more. Therefore, I suggest that the committee adopt part 4 of the report, which include decision from 9 to 13. Part 4 of the report is adopted. We come to part 5. We come now to the last part of the report, part 5, which include decision 14 to 19, which I propose to adopt as a whole. Are there any comment? Part 5. Therefore, shall I take it that the committee adopt the part 5 of the report, which include decision from 14 to 19. So, part 5 of the report is therefore adopted. I now propose that we adopt the report or decision as a whole. Are there any objection? I see no objection. I declare the report or the decision or the 37th session of the committee adopted and item 20 closed. We now come to an end of our work, but before we close, I would like to give the floor to the Director of the Center, Mr. Kishore Rao. Please, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you very much, Excellency, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, allow me to express sincere gratitude on behalf of the Director General of UNESCO, my colleagues at the World Heritage Center, and on my own personal behalf to the Kingdom of Cambodia and to you, Mr. President, for the exceptional hospitality that was provided to all of us, and for the outstanding and exemplary manner in which the 37th session was organized. Excellency, your authorities did not leave any stone unturned to make this session a resounding success and a memorable experience for all of us, for which we are very grateful. We were exposed to the full range of the rich diversity of your beautiful country through the many events and excursions that were so generously offered to us. The sheer scale of the logistics, the number of people that were mobilized to make all these arrangements, the young team of smiling volunteers who responded to every one of our requests, all of this was extremely impressive. We thank you, Excellency, from the bottom of our hearts for making all this possible. I know that you spared no efforts during the preparations for this session, and you and your colleagues led by Mr. Yara Suos put in many hours of tireless work to ensure that all our needs are taken care of, and we greatly appreciate your efforts. The fact that more than 1,450 delegates successfully attended this session is itself an indication of the magnitude of the organizational efforts. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as the Secretariat to the World Heritage Committee, my colleagues and I always strive to provide the best possible information and services to enable you to take well-informed decisions. In the past 10 days, you have adopted 234 decisions, the report of which you have just adopted as a whole. And these were based on more than 52 working documents that the Secretariat produced. I would like to thank my colleagues in the three advisory bodies, ICOMOS, IUCN, and ICCROM, for their close collaboration in this undertaking. You have just now adopted the report of the session with all its decisions in accordance with Rule 46 of the Rules of Procedure. The report was ready well ahead of time, primarily because of the outstanding contribution of our rapporteur, Ms. Jasna Zranovic, and I would like that we all give her a warm round of applause. Working closely with the Secretariat, she not only finalized each decision as soon as it was adopted, but also reviewed and corrected all of them at the end of each day and again at the end of the session. Our sincere thanks to you, Jasna, for your extremely hard and exceptional work, supported, of course, by the team of revisers and translators who worked painstakingly behind the scene. Our particular thanks to each one of them. Our team of interpreters made it possible for us to have a very effective intercultural dialogue, and they made us understand each other in the different languages in which we conducted our business at this session. I would like to thank them very much for the exceptional work that they have done. The same goes to the huge team of technicians who handle the IT and audiovisual facilities without us facing any major problem at any time during our meeting. Excellency, above all, the success of this session is because of your very able leadership and the way in which you conducted its business. Your rich experience as a very respected and senior leader, politician, and diplomat enabled you to manage the session in an extremely efficient manner, build consensus in all the decisions, and navigate difficult negotiations in a most harmonious and gracious style. I think that it is a record that we did not resort to any secret ballot during this entire session, and there was no evening sessions or extended sessions. I can say that for the Secretariat, it was a pleasure working with you. Excellency, we look forward to continuing our collaboration with you in the future as well. Our sincere thanks to all members of the committee for their cooperation and contributions. We hope that the Secretariat has been able to meet your expectations, and if not, we will continue to improve our working modalities, including through enhanced communication and dialogue with all concerned, so that we can more efficiently and effectively support your work. My special thanks to the chairs of the two working groups, Ambassador Imhoff for the Operational Guidelines Group and Mr. Van Schalvik for the Budget Group for their exceptional contributions. Thanks also to all observer states parties and participants from intergovernmental and non-governmental organizations. Your presence and contributions to the deliberations of the session has greatly enriched its outcomes. This session has discussed a number of critical issues which would require us all to reflect further on the ways in which each of the three pillars of the Convention, the states parties, the committee, the secretariat, and the advisory bodies can improve its functioning. And let us not forget the collaboration that is required with the civil society and the youth who closely follow and contribute to our collective work. At the same time, the challenges continue to mount. The number of World Heritage Sites now stand at 981 and will quickly cross the 1,000th mark, while both the financial and human resources continue to decline and are not adequate to meet the growing needs and expectations. This issue will require a very serious consideration, and I do not think that we can wait any longer to deal with these challenges. Let me conclude once again by thanking our hosts. Thanks also to each one of my colleagues in the World Heritage Center, including the very efficient team led by Mechtel Rossler, the Deputy Director of the Center. I would like to particularly note also the commitment of some of our young interns at the World Heritage Center who met their own costs to attend this session and help the Secretariat. Without the commitment and hard work of all my colleagues in the center, it is impossible to make this huge machine work year after year. Lastly, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome the new chairperson of the World Heritage Committee, Her Excellency Sheikha Al Mayasa bint Hamad Al Thani of Qatar. Excellency, my colleagues and I look forward to working with you and your authorities in preparing the 38th session in Doha. For those of you going on to Angkor, I wish you good continuation, and to those returning home or going on vacation, bon voyage. Thank you very much.
I give the floor first to Rapporteur. Yes.
Je ne saurais terminer sans adresser une mention spéciale au secrétariat du Centre de patrimoine mondial, aux organisations consultatives, aux membres du comité et bien sûr à vous, aux États parties. Sans vous, cette convention n'existera pas. Aux observateurs, aux partenaires, aux ONG et à tous ceux qui ont contribué à la réussite de cette 37e session du comité du patrimoine mondial. J'aimerais notamment vous dire que j'avais ici derrière moi un petit secrétariat qui était un petit secrétariat de rapporteurs. Je les ai décorés aujourd'hui avec un petit libellule qui est peint à la main et un petit libellule cambodgien. Donc pour leur dire merci pour leur travail. Aussi, je saisis cette occasion pour féliciter et souhaiter bonne chance et bonne continuation à notre collègue de la Colombie, M. Gutiérrez, ayant accepté d'assurer cette tâche combien exaltante de rapporteur, et je le rassure de ma disponibilité de l'accompagner encore. Je vous remercie. Merci beaucoup.
Andy has the floor, please.
Thank you, Chair. I've been asked to speak by the Government of India on behalf of the Government of India and the people of India to thank the many countries, delegations and people who have extended their condolences and expressed their sympathies at the tragic events over the past week in the high Himalayas. The landslides and heavy incessant rain have taken a heavy toll. At this point of time, more than 1,000 people are dead. Many, many thousands remain to be evacuated. Many, many thousands of people have been evacuated. The weather continues to be bad, and we understand that it is likely to continue to be bad over the next few days. The helicopter pilots, men and women, have worked in near impossible conditions, in difficult terrain, in torrential rain, in the narrow valleys and over the mountaintops of the Himalayas. Excellency, I'd like to thank you and all of the delegations, countries and people who have extended their condolences. Thank you.
I give the floor to South Africa, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson, and not to prolong our stay in this room, we would like to add our words to that of the Director of the Centre, but especially to yourself and to the Cambodian government. We are really appreciative of the privilege to come to Cambodia. I think I speak for the whole delegation that this is not a venue that South Africans visit very much, but it's been a wonderful surprise and it's been a wonderful privilege to come to Cambodia. And we'd really like to thank you for all the efforts that's been put in. It was an incredible effort on Cambodia's side, and we were looked after incredibly well. Also to all the volunteers, the liaison officers, the bus drivers, all the people that never really get seen but makes this thing work. We are really, really appreciative of that. And once again, thank you for all the efforts, thank you for the privilege of being here, and thank you for your wise and wonderful guidance that you gave us in a very subdued but strong manner, and you managed some very difficult situations with lots of skill and appreciation from our side. So once again, thank you very much before we leave, and we look forward also to the closing ceremony, but we just wanted to use this opportunity to extend a word of thanks to yourself. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Yeah, I thank the distinguished delegate from South Africa. Now I give the floor to United Arab Emirates, please.
شكرا السيد الرئيس. إنها لحظة مؤثرة أن نعبر عن خالص تهانينا وشكرنا وتقديرنا للحكومة الكمبودية والشعب الكمبودي على كل الحفاوة وكرم الضيافة. وكما عبر زميلنا من جنوب أفريقيا، كنا دائما نتطلع لزيارة هذا البلد، ولكن كان انعقاد هذه الدورة عامل أساسي في تحقيق هذه الرغبة. ونحن سنعود إلى بلدنا بأجمل الذكريات وبانطباعات الجميلة، وتمكنا من تحقيق هدف من أهداف هذه الاتفاقية، وهو التبادل الثقافي وزيادة المعرفة عن الآخر. لقد مارسنا كل أنواع الحوار الثقافي مع المتطوعين الذين كانوا علامة بارزة في إنجاح هذا العمل. نحن نقدر لكم سعادة الرئيس كما سبق وعبر من قبلي على حكمتكم وعلى حسن تسييركم لأعمال هذه الدورة. نحن فخورين بهذا الأداء ونتمنى لسعادتكم التوفيق في مهامكم لخدمة هذا البلد الجميل. لن أطيل. نشكر مركز التراث العالمي، نشكر الهيئات الاستشارية، نشكر زميلتنا مقررة هذه الدورة، أشكر الدول الأعضاء التي تحلت بكل الحكمة والتفاهم والتوافق لإنجاح أعمال هذه الدورة. ولأن الإمارات تغادر الدورة، تغادر عضوية اللجنة عند انتهاء هذه الدورة، نود أن نؤكد أننا حاولنا قدر إمكاننا عبر الفترة الماضية أن نكون مساهمين بإيجابية لإنجاح أهداف تطبيق هذه الاتفاقية. ونؤكد أننا سنستمر معكم في المراحل القادمة عبر مشاركتنا كدولة مراقبة وعبر المشاركة في كل أنشطة مركز التراث العالمي واللجنة. نحن أيضا نؤكد أننا عندما عبرنا عن آرائنا في هذه اللجنة نأمل أننا لم يساء فهمنا ولم نقصد أن نختلف مع أحد أو أن نجرح أحد. نحن نمثل قيم الاتفاقية والقيم الإنسانية الجميلة. نشكركم جميعا وأشكركم على حسن الاستماع. السلام عليكم.
I thank the delegation from United Arab Emirates. Now I give the floor to Cambodia, please.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. Permettez-moi, au nom de la délégation cambodgienne, de vous féliciter et vous remercier pour votre sagesse et votre direction efficace qui marquera pour nous tous l'histoire de notre comité. La délégation cambodgienne félicite et remercie le secrétariat, les organisations consultatives, les interprètes pour cet énorme travail. Merci encore.
Thank you, the delegate from Cambodia. I call on France, please.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. Je voudrais tout d'abord renouveler nos remerciements sincères pour les autorités cambodgiennes qui ont permis la tenue de cette 37e session, tous ceux qui ont contribué à la bonne marche de nos travaux, le secrétariat, la rapporteure, les États membres, les observateurs, et je tiens tout particulièrement à saluer votre travail, Monsieur le Président, pour la façon dont vous avez su conduire les débats, en français également, et pour cette formulation que vous avez eue à plusieurs reprises en français. J'essaye modestement de vous dire « Okon » avec un accent cambodgien qui ne doit pas être très bon, mais sachez l'accepter, nos remerciements en langue locale. Merci.
Merci beaucoup la délégation de la France. I give the floor to Colombia, please.
Muchas gracias, señor presidente. Permítame, por supuesto, en nombre de la señora ministra de Relaciones Exteriores de Colombia, María Ángela Holguín, en nombre de la ministra de Cultura, Mariana Garcés, en nombre del embajador de Colombia ante la UNESCO, señor Gustavo Carvajal, y en mi nombre propio, por supuesto, señor presidente, agradecerle a usted, felicitarlo, por supuesto, por la adecuada conducción de este comité, así como agradecerle a su pueblo por la acogida que tuvimos durante estas casi 2 semanas de trabajo en esta 37 sesión del Comité de Patrimonio Mundial. Colombia, señor presidente, es un país que representa a la región de América Latina y, por supuesto, creo que mis colegas de la región estarán de acuerdo en que yo también le envío un mensaje de felicitación y agradecimiento en nombre de toda la región en ese mismo sentido. América Latina, señor presidente, es un continente comprometido con la conservación del patrimonio mundial, con un amplio potencial y, por supuesto, nuestra región está dispuesta a seguir cooperando y a seguir trabajando en pro de ese fin. Quiero igualmente agradecerle al Centro de Patrimonio Mundial, al señor Rao, a Meshtit Rosler y a los demás colegas del centro por el muy profesional trabajo y muy adecuado trabajo que ellos desempeñan, ya que sin su guía también sería muy difícil llevar a buen término estos trabajos. Por último, señor presidente, déjeme agradecerle a todos y cada uno de los miembros del Comité de Patrimonio Mundial por la confianza depositada en Colombia y en mí personalmente para ejercer la relatoría de la próxima sesión del comité. Se los agradezco y, por supuesto, para mí será todo un reto tanto profesional como personal y, por supuesto, estoy presto a colaborar y a hacerlo de la mejor manera. Entonces, quería simplemente, señor presidente, agradecerle y agradecer a todos una vez más por esta sesión del comité y por la acogida tan amable y tan agradable que tuvimos en Camboya. Muchas gracias.
I express deep thanks to the delegation of Colombia. Now I call on Iraq, please.
شكرا سيد الرئيس. باسمي ونيابة عن وفد الحكومة العراقية نعرب أن وافر شكرنا وتقديرنا لما وجدناه من كرم الضيافة وحسن الاستقبال من هذا الشعب الطيب والأصيل. فقد وجدنا أنفسنا وكأننا في بلادنا، وكانت لقيادتكم الحكيمة لهذه الدورة أضفت إليها روعة وتألق. تمنياتنا لكم ولشعبكم الأصيل بالتقدم والازدهار. شكرا سيد الرئيس.
Thanks, the delegation of Iraq. Now I give the floor to Estonia, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Estonia would like to extend our heartfelt thanks to the government of Cambodia for its generous support and exceptional organization of this meeting, and to you personally, Mr. Chair, for your skillful Also, we would like to thank World Heritage Center and all the other organizers who has facilitated this meeting here. For Estonia, this is the last time to be member of committee. We arrived to the committee 4 years ago as representatives of a poor, post-communist, unexperienced young country. Our working methods have been slightly different of other committee members because we were advised by the Sweden, our close neighbor, who also followed the convention where it was said that the state party should be represented by the persons qualified in the field of cultural and natural heritage. It means that in our delegation always the ambassadors have been very good assistants in the backstage, and we are very thankful for them. I think that if the delegations are led by the experts, it's more rational. We are thankful that Estonian Minister of Foreign Affairs and Minister of Culture and Minister of Environment have been very much interested in our activities here, but we have never felt from home any political pressure. We are glad that our government has trusted us in our conviction. For our delegation, the trust towards the professional work of World Heritage Center and advisory bodies has always been essential. For we don't consider that the ideology of state sovereignty is so important for this specific committee. It's much more important that the committee members and all state parties, they take seriously this advice they get from advisory bodies, and that they really do their homework, and that the duties of the state parties should be done. It has been very interesting collaboration with other committee members for us. We have learned how rich the world actually is, how different practices there are. We have met very competent experts from different delegations, from Switzerland to India, from Serbia to France, and it has been for us very interesting collaboration. Thank you all colleagues here in the committee. It has been very enriching experience. Thank you.
Thank you very much, delegation from Estonia. Now I give the floor to Malaysia, please.
Thank you, Chair. On behalf of the Chief Delegate of Malaysia, Professor Emeritus Uraina, who has left us, and on behalf of the government of Malaysia, we would like to congratulate you for the most efficient and oriental way of conducting this meeting. To WHC and other world advisory bodies and the rapporteur for the efficient way of conducting and coming to decision, and to all the state parties who I believe, and personally I really believe, intervene in the most intellectual ways in solving problems, in helping other state parties to come to decisions. And our young delegates here have learned so much. And of course, the people of the Kingdom of Cambodia, with your hospitality, with your, I would say, in the spirit of ASEAN, had contributed so much to the success of this meeting. Once again, thank you, sir, for your, I would say, very effective way of dealing with sometimes not so easy things to come to a decision. Congratulations, sir.
I express my deep thanks to the distinguished delegate from Malaysia. Now I give the floor to Qatar, please.
شكرا سيد الرئيس. نود بدورنا أن نضم صوتنا إلى جميع من سبقنا في تهنئتكم سيد الرئيس على إدارتكم الحكيمة لأعمال هذه الدورة، وقد كان لأسلوبكم الهادئ المليء بالثقة وبالحكمة الكمبودية كان لهذا الأسلوب دوره في تخطي كثير من العقبات التي واجهتنا أثناء النقاشات. كما نود أن نغتنم الفرصة لنشكر الحكومة الكمبودية والشعب الكمبودي على حسن الضيافة وعلى دقة التنظيم، وقد ساهم ذلك في أن نشعر جميعا بأننا في بلدنا الثاني. كما نشكر مركز التراث العالمي واليونسكو والمقررة اللطيفة على حسن العمل ولإنجاز ما تم إنجازه، ونقول لكم مرة أخرى أهلا وسهلا بكم في دولة قطر في العام القادم، وشكرا.
I express my deep thanks to His Excellency Ambassador of Qatar. We are happy to visit Qatar, you see, and we wish and we hope that the 38th session of the World Heritage Committee in Qatar will be fully successful. Thank you, and I call on the delegation of Germany, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would, with pleasure, like to share the thanks, the views and the greetings which have been given by the preceding speakers. I would like to thank the government of Cambodia for its hospitality, for the big task which it has done to organize this huge conference. I understand that we will have in 2 years a big challenge ahead of us, but I have learned a lot, I think, during the session, and we will try to copy you, Mr. Chair, as much as possible. Thank you for your skillful and deliberate guiding of our session. It was not always easy, but you have done it, I think, in the best possible manner. I would also like to thank the World Heritage Center, its director, Mr. Kishore Rao, deputy director, Mrs. Mechthild Rössler, and all colleagues of the Secretariat. The advisory bodies, IUCN, ICOMOS, and ICROM, who have done a very good job. Our delegation, maybe at the end, I would like to say, is expert-based, and we try to orient our decision as much as possible on the advice of very good experts, which we have and which are with this convention already some time. I would also like to thank the future president and the future host country of this committee for the invitation to Qatar. Thank you. Shukran jazilan.
I express deep thanks to Excellency Ambassador of Germany, and we look forward for a very successful chairmanship of the 39th session of the World Heritage Committee. Now I call on Redon La Parole à la Mali, please.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. Le Mali voudrait, à l'image des autres pays, des autres orateurs, dire ses sincères remerciements au peuple cambodgien, à vous-même et à tous ceux qui ont sué, comme on le dit, sous la pluie, ceux qui ne sont pas visibles, qui ont abattu un travail extraordinaire. Notre ministre qui a fait le déplacement nous a chargé de transmettre ses sincères remerciements à vous, à votre Premier ministre et à tout le peuple cambodgien. Et cette invitation est allée droit au cœur de nous autres experts qui sommes là, parce que ça nous a motivés, ça nous a apporté un plus pour le travail, beaucoup de travail qu'il y a à faire actuellement au Mali, comme tout le monde le sait, suite aux événements que nous avons vécus, surtout dans la partie septentrionale du pays. Donc nous remercions sincèrement le peuple cambodgien, je le répète, le Centre du patrimoine mondial qui a abattu un travail énorme, les organisations consultatives et vous personnellement qui avez tenu dans un calme olympien la direction des débats sans problème. Donc merci beaucoup et nous vous sommes reconnaissants.
Oui, j'exprime mes remerciements chaleureux à la délégation de Mali. I give the floor to Japan, please. Japan, please.
Thank you, Chair. Japan delegation would like to express our heartfelt gratitude and appreciation to Kingdom of Cambodia and excellent chairmanship of Dr. Sok-an. And also, we'd like to express our gratitude to the Secretariat for huge workload with a very small budget. We are sorry for that. And of course, advisor bodies, they did a very excellent job. And also to all participants who made this conference a great success. Thank you so much.
We thank the Excellency Ambassador of Japan. I now give the floor to the Federation of Russia, please.
Спасибо большое, господин председатель. Разрешите мне от правительства Российской Федерации поблагодарить искренне правительство Камбоджи и народ Камбоджи за замечательную организацию этой сессии, за очень теплый прием, за то внимание, которое была окружена наша делегация непосредственно, я сама, как бывший председатель. Благодарю вас лично, господин Sok-an, за ваше такое теплое отношение и мудрое руководство. Еще раз хочу поблагодарить секретариат, поскольку, конечно, на их плечи это всегда огромное событие для ЮНЕСКО, на их плечи всегда ложится самая большая забота и организационные проблемы, поблагодарить технические службы, особенно наших замечательных переводчиков, которые фактически у нас все обеспечены юнесковские языки. Поэтому спасибо вам большое за качественную работу. Большое спасибо еще раз вам, господин Sok-an, за то, что вы организовали молодежь. Это очень хорошая вещь, и очень приятно было видеть с нами замечательных молодых волонтеров. Еще раз большое спасибо, и я думаю, что мы все рассчитываем еще раз встретиться с замечательными экспертами из разных стран в следующем году в Катаре. Спасибо.
I express deep thanks to Her Excellency Ambassador of Russia. Now I give the floor to India.
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to add to the delegations that have spoken before me, to thank not only you and your government and your people, but the World Heritage Center, the advisory bodies, and the immense and smiling staff that have conducted these proceedings in this wonderful manner. Excellency, you have opened your hearts to us. We from India would like to believe, we recall that 25 years ago you were ambassador to India, and we would like to believe that you too are one of us and do not need an invitation from us to visit India. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Excellency. Thank you, all of you.
Express my thanks to Excellency Ambassador of India. Now I give the floor to Algeria, please.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. La délégation algérienne voudrait exprimer son bonheur et sa satisfaction à l'endroit des autorités cambodgiennes qui nous ont très chaleureusement accueillis et qui ont mis en œuvre tous les moyens pour assurer la réussite de notre rencontre. La qualité de l'accueil, l'excellence de l'organisation, la logistique, la disponibilité et le sens de l'hospitalité. Nos félicitations et remerciements vont au président de la session qui a su allier le sens de la rigueur, de la ductilité et de la convivialité pour rapprocher, pour rassembler et réunir devant des situations parfois de grande sensibilité. Nous tenons à remercier et féliciter le Centre du patrimoine mondial, ainsi que l'ICOMOS, l'IUCN et l'ICROM pour les efforts considérables qu'ils ne cessent de déployer, pour leur vigilance permanente, leur rigueur nécessaire dans les approches et surtout leur respect des dispositions de la Convention et de son guide d'orientation. Nous comprenons leurs difficultés, notamment matérielles et financières, surtout en ces moments de forte crise, et souscrivons pour un plus grand renforcement de leurs capacités. C'est la première fois que nous visitons le Cambodge. Nous avons été émerveillés par la grandeur de ses ouvrages et la force de son architecture, la qualité de ses œuvres et la profondeur de son histoire. Monsieur le Président, honorable assistance, je vous exprime au nom de la délégation algérienne nos vifs remerciements et nos sincères félicitations. Notre point de vue, notre appréciation, notre sentiment sur l'esprit de la session, sur l'ambiance, le climat des réunions, ne peut objectivement et honnêtement se détacher de la contexture politique et économique mondiale, marquée par des conflits multiples, notamment dans les pays du Sud, des crises économiques et financières, des instabilités multiformes, humaines et naturelles, en particulier les changements climatiques. Nous ne saurions répondre si cette planétarisation des catastrophes et des risques demeure contenue dans ces développements par les formats régionaux qui continuent à gouverner nos approches dans notre honorable comité du patrimoine mondial. Nous ne saurions comprendre, au nom d'une éthique et d'une déontologie, que des sites du patrimoine mondial soient examinés en annexe des discussions, dans des enveloppes et des ambiances foncièrement politiques et idéologiques. Nous ne sommes pas là pour défendre des causes, mais pour défendre des valeurs et des qualités sensibles d'un patrimoine fondamentalement dynamique. Notre délégation réitère ses remerciements, une fois de plus, à l'ensemble des membres du comité pour l'excellent travail qu'il a réalisé. L'ICOMOS, encore une fois, et l'UICN, que nous ne cesserons de soutenir, même si parfois nous sommes un peu trop exigeants avec eux. Le Centre du patrimoine mondial et toute son administration, qui, comme de tradition, a toujours veillé à la réussite des sessions. Et nous terminons par nos félicitations sincères au Cambodge, qui nous a accueillis dans les conditions que vous connaissez. Merci, Monsieur le Président.
Je remercie vivement la délégation de l'Algérie. Je donne la parole au Sénégal.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. Après avoir entendu l'Afrique du Sud et le Mali, je peux dire que je partage l'essentiel de ce qu'ils ont dit et c'est une partie de la parole de l'Afrique. Cependant, comme tout le monde, je pense qu'il y a des choses qui ne peuvent pas ne pas être dites. Il est de notre devoir de remercier les autorités cambodgiennes pour la qualité de l'accueil et notre président pour la qualité de la direction de nos travaux. Nous aimerions aussi remercier les États partis, tous les États partis, particulièrement ceux membres du comité qui, malgré les divergences, ont su faire preuve de dépassement à chaque fois pour mettre la Convention au-dessus des intérêts des États. Remercions aussi le comité du patrimoine mondial, son secrétariat, les organisations consultatives et bien évidemment les traducteurs qui nous ont aidés à nous comprendre les uns et les autres. Nous voudrions aussi faire une mention particulière à notre rapporteur qui a su rendre compte avec fidélité de la substance de nos travaux. Merci Claire, vous avez été limpide. Un mot enfin sur notre convention. Nous pensons que cette convention est un instrument important dans la gouvernance culturelle mondiale. Il faut tout faire pour la préserver. Cette convention est une gomme puissante pour effacer les frontières politiques, culturelles et toutes les incompréhensions qui ont fait tant de mal à notre humanité. Mesdames, Messieurs, chers amis, nous avançons vers le 1000e site, vers la 1000e inscription. Il est évident que les fantômes du millénarisme seront toujours là pour nous dire « Attention, nous allons très vite ». Nous vous encourageons à ne pas trembler, il faut avancer et nous sommes convaincus qu'il n'y aura pas le bug de la 1000e inscription, mais bien au contraire, un rebondissement de notre convention qui aura surmonté toutes les difficultés jusqu'à présent. Et vive la Convention du patrimoine mondial. Je vous remercie.
Merci la délégation de Sénégal. I give the floor to the delegation of Thailand, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Speaking on behalf of the Thai delegation and also in the capacity of the chairman of the ASEAN UNESCO Committee in Paris, we wish very much to express our gratitude through you to the government of Cambodia, the Kingdom of Cambodia, the Kingdom of Wonder, for every one of your staff who make this meeting successful. I wish also try to say that the successful of this meeting come partly, especially from the World Heritage Center. I personally like to express our thanks to the director, personally, your sweet deputy, including the legal advisor who always make this meeting exciting. I also like to thank the rapporteur for her sweetness. We also like to thank the interpreter who really make a wonderful work. We enjoy the work with the advisory body. We thank them for their hard work and professionalism. Mr. President, as Thailand and Malaysia going to leave the committee this year, Cambodia, I'm sorry, we the ASEAN UNESCO Committee in Paris will be very happy to have a representative of ASEAN, the Philippines and Vietnam as a candidate for the committee. Personally, for Thailand, as we are leaving the committee, we assure you of our full cooperation with, of course, UNESCO, the center, and all member states. See you in Doha. Thank you.
Thank you. I Give the floor to Ethiopia, please.
Thank you, Chair. The Ethiopian delegation also would like to congratulate the Cambodian government and people for the successful and efficient hosting of this session and hospitality we have enjoyed since our arrival the very day to this beautiful country. Besides the deliberations of the plenary sessions, we have learned and enjoyed so much of your country's history, wisdom, and hospitality. I would also like to thank Mr. Rao and all of his team, needless of enlisting the way my friends have done earlier, distinguished delegates of countries and committees, the advisory bodies. Last but not least, I would like to express my sincere appreciation and admiration to Your Excellency, Mr. Chair, for your wise and effective leadership throughout all the plenary sessions. It's indeed with great and lasting memory my delegation is leaving Cambodia. We were just discussing earlier whether prior to us any Ethiopian have made to Cambodia. So all the memories we are going to take back to Ethiopia will be lasting memory and with all of the positive impressions. My delegation wishes all of the best to the people of Cambodia and government of Cambodia and the World Heritage Center and to the success of the convention. Thank you very much.
I warmly thank the delegation of Ethiopia. Now je donne la parole à la délégation de la Suisse. Please.
Merci beaucoup, Monsieur le Président. Comme d'autres, je commencerai par vous adresser des remerciements et des félicitations personnelles pour votre présidence ferme et habile en tout instant. Nos remerciements s'adressent aussi à tous les professionnels qui vous entourent et qui continueront de vous entourer, en particulier le personnel cambodgien qui a fait bénéficier tout un chacun ici de son sens de l'hospitalité et de l'organisation. J'associe à ces remerciements tous ceux, professionnels venus d'ailleurs ou présents ici, interprètes, qui ont contribué à notre dialogue et notre bon entendement. Monsieur le Président, cette conférence aura été riche en rebondissements et en enseignements. Nous l'apprécions à la mesure des défis relevés et de l'apport de chacun, et en particulier des experts de toutes les délégations et des organisations spécialisées. C'est largement d'eux que dépend l'application et le renforcement de la Convention et de son esprit, un esprit auquel nous demeurerons longtemps attachés, même si nous quittons le comité, puisque c'est notre dernière session pour les temps présents. Merci, Monsieur le Président.
Je remercie son excellent ambassadeur de la Suisse. I call on Serbia, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Delegation of Serbia would like to join previous speaker in thanking your government for excellent organization of this meeting, as well as for the hospitality extended to all of us. I would also like to thank you very much to you, extend gratitude to you for the way in which you conduct the work of this committee. Our thanks also go to the World Heritage Center, rapporteur and interpreters for excellent work done. Last but not least, we are also very thankful to the government of Qatar for offering the organization of next meeting of the committee. Thank you.
I give the floor to Mexico, please.
Muchas gracias, señor presidente. Aunque ya amablemente la delegación de Colombia había agradecido por la región, sí queremos también manifestar nuestro profundo agradecimiento a usted y al gobierno de Camboya por su desbordante generosidad y hospitalidad, y por la belleza de su país que nos ha permitido conocer y disfrutar. Agradecemos al Centro de Patrimonio Mundial, a su director y todos los queridos amigos en el secretariado por su permanente profesionalismo que siempre es invaluable para nuestro trabajo. A la relatora por su ardua labor y sobre todo por su paciencia con todos nosotros. A los organismos asesores por su permanente compañía y asesoría y también por las estupendas discusiones que tenemos con ellos. A los traductores y su siempre puntual labor y en nuestro caso al Gobierno de España que nuevamente patrocinó la traducción al castellano para nosotros. Y finalmente a todos ustedes, estimados, reconocidos miembros del comité, por su trabajo, por su amistad, sus críticas públicas, abiertas y algunas otras secretas a nuestra labor, con la que concluimos, con la que México concluye un cuarto mandato en este comité, pero en el que saben ustedes que siempre estamos presentes para colaborar con la mejor implementación de esta convención que conformamos todos nosotros. Felicitamos finalmente también al Gobierno de Qatar por la organización y la estupenda realización que será de la próxima sesión de este comité. Gracias.
Dear colleague, before we all get together in Siem Reap tomorrow for our closing ceremony, allow me to say also a few words now. Dear colleagues and friends, member of the World Heritage Committee, representative of state parties, representative of ICROM, IUCN and ICOMOS, representative of the local community and non-governmental organization, member of the World Heritage Center. 10 days has passed. The committee session is now going to the close. Today, I would like to note that our work was intense, constructive, inspiring, and enriching in the spirit of solidarity, cooperation, and tolerance. All of this in the name of the honorable mission of the 1972 World Heritage Convention. Having the session held for the first time in Phnom Penh, in this Peace Palace, gave us a framework to reach the most appropriate decision, serving the interests of the sites inscribed on the World Heritage List. This time, the committee has inscribed to the World Heritage List 19 properties, of which 3 are from unrepresented countries, Fiji, Lesotho, and Qatar. Let us express to this side parties our warm congratulations. It was a pleasure for me working with you, particularly with our rapporteur, Mrs. Jasna Junovic, committee members, bureau, state party, and advisory body in the implementation of such a prestigious instrument as the World Heritage Convention. I also very much appreciated the continuous commitment of the Director General of UNESCO, the Assistant Director General for Culture, the Director and Deputy Director of the World Heritage Center, and their devoted staff. I would also like to pay tribute to all behind the scenes, interpreters, technicians, media center, intern, volunteers, and all services. Ladies and gentlemen, I now shall hand over my authority in order to join you in congratulating my successor, Her Royal Highness Sheikha Al Mayasa bin Hamad Al Thani, to whom I shall gladly pass the wealth of experience I have gained in this post. I would like that we warmly welcome the newly elected member of the Committee's Bureau, Algeria, Colombia, Germany, Japan, and Senegal, as Vice Chair, and Mr. Francisco Guterres as a rapporteur. I am especially pleased that you will now visit our iconic site, Angkor, and for those who cannot join us, safe travel. I now declare the 37th session of the World Heritage Committee of UNESCO closed. Please, announcement.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I promise you it's the last announcement of this session. It's a schedule for transportation, just a reminder, Thursday 27th of June for the chartered flights, 7:15 a.m. from your hotels, Cambodiana, Phnom Penh, Le Royal, Intercontinental, Sofitel, Sunway, Plantation and Naga Worlds. If you go by bus, it's 7:30 from the same hotels. For all of those who stay in other hotels, you should be at the office of the Council of Ministers at 7:30. So safe travels to all of you. Thank you.
I'd like to inform you that this year, by preparing the closing ceremony in Siem Reap, I did discuss with my colleague, Minister of Culture. I told him that now we have our distinguished guests. Most of them are the men of culture. So I told my colleague, Minister of Culture, I said, this is the golden opportunity for him to show to all our distinguished guests, you see, the art performance of Cambodia. So tomorrow we will enjoy, you see, the art performance again of Cambodia in Angkor. Thank you very much.